In this video, you'll learn how to make your app support multiple languages. I'll guide you through the entire process step by step. Here you have a basic mobile app with two screens. The first is designed as a main menu, while the second provides more detailed information. Our goal is to make this app multilingual by adding Japanese and Arabic support. That way, more people will be able to use and understand it. Step 1. Install Flutter Internationalization packages. The first step is to install Flutter packages that deal with internationalization. There are two Flutter packages that you need to install. The first one is called Flutter Localization, and the second one is called INTL. To install these packages, you first need to open the pubspec.yaml file. Find the Dependencies section and add the following lines. Also add the line generate:true under the Flutter section of your pubspec.yaml file. This command instructs the Flutter build system to generate code automatically throughout the build process. Step 2. Install VS Code extension to help with internationalization. Next, install the Visual Studio Code extension Flutter INTL, which assists in managing ARB files. ARB files contain translations into various languages. To install the extension, select the Extensions tab on the left side of Visual Studio Code and search for Flutter INTL in the search bar. Click the Install button to add the plugin. With the plugin installed, we can now set up our project for localization. To do this, open the command palette and select the Flutter INTL initialize command. Upon executing the initialize command, several new files and directories were generated. Notably, the translation file for the English language was created by default. Right now, this file is totally empty, but as we go through the steps, we'll start to fill it up. Step 3. Configure Material App widget to support localization. These steps also apply when using the Cupertino app widget. On the Flutter INTL VS Code extension page, scroll down to the section that explains how to set up localization's delegates and supported locales variables. First, copy the code for localization's delegates and paste it into the Material App widget. It appears that VS Code is displaying error indicators due to some missing imports. To resolve this, we can utilize the Flutter plugin Quick Fix feature to automatically import the required files for us. Next, we need to configure the supported locales property. To do this, we can copy the code from the Flutter INTL extension page and paste it into our code. Now, let's correct this error due to the Material App widget being declared as constant. Lastly, we must set the current locale for our app. To accomplish this, we can use the locale attribute. For now, let's set the locale to English. Step 4. Add locale. In this step, we'll be adding locales for the languages we want to translate our app to. For this video, I'll be translating the app into Arabic and Japanese. To add a new locale, we need to find the correct language code for the language you're interested in. To do this, you can simply search for language codes on Google. Here's an example from Wikipedia, where the relevant code is in the column titled Set 1. When we search for Arabic, we can see that the language code is AR. And if we search for Japanese, we can see that the language code is JA. To add new locales to our project, select Flutter INTL, add locale from the command palette. Next, type in the language code. For instance, type in AR for Arabic and press enter. You will then notice that a new ARB file has been added for Arabic. Repeat the same steps for Japanese by entering JP when prompted for the locale. Step 5. Extract strings from our code. In this step, we will transfer all the strings that need to be translated into the ARB files created in the previous step. In our example application, we have two screens. The main screen and the details screen. These screens are linked to their respective .dart files, named main.dart and details.dart. To transfer a string from the source files to ARB files, select the code string you want to extract. A light bulb icon appears, indicating that a code action is available. Click on the icon, and from the Code Action menu that appears, choose the Extract to ARB option. An input box appears at the top of VS Code where you can enter the label for the string. You can accept the default label or change it. We will accept the default by pressing Enter. Repeat this process for the rest of the strings in the file. Let's address the errors in our code flagged by VS Code. The cause of these errors lies in the use of redundant const declarations. To rectify this, we will remove the unneeded const declarations. Next, let's move on to converting the second file. Note that we are using a string interpolation here. Keep in mind that the ARB files will need to be modified to accommodate this change later. Now, we are in a position to translate the RB files. In this example, I will be using AI to translate the strings in bulk. I will request ChatGPT to generate Arabic and Japanese versions of the RB file. Next, we incorporate the response from ChatGPT into the Arabic and Japanese ARB files. Great. Now we are ready to test our changes. Let's change our locale to Japanese by setting the locale attribute of the Material App widget to JA. Please note that we also need to restart the Flutter app to apply all the recent changes we have made. Now, let's change it to Arabic by setting the locale attribute of the Material App widget to AR. Since Arabic is a right-to-left language, notice that Flutter has moved the chevron at the trailing edge of the list to the left side. You will also notice that the details view now slides in from left to right and exits from right to left as per the Arabic localization. Take note of this string, which is a result of Dart's string interpolation. String interpolation in ARB files is achieved by enclosing the variable in curly brackets. So, let's change that in all our ARB files. Additionally, we need to pass the value of the interpolated string by passing an extra parameter like this. The interpolated string is now displayed correctly. To test the English locale, we set the locale attribute of the Material App widget to EN. Our app now supports Arabic and Japanese localization, which makes it accessible to a wider audience and provides a more inclusive user experience. All right, that concludes everything. Now that you know how to internationalize your app, you can make it accessible to a wider audience and expand your user base. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below. And if you found this tutorial helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more Flutter tutorials. Thanks for watching.